Okay, well, welcome to Creations by Karen. Today we are going to make that giant carrot wreath. It's getting like close to Easter, like it's a month away or something. I think it's the 4th, weekend of the 4th, the beginning of April. So I thought it was time we got going on some Easter stuff because, you know, everybody likes Easter. I do. Got your coffee because it's going to take a few minutes to do. Lex is here for a visit. Great, great. So we're going to make this on a Unique in the Creek triangle board. So I think you've seen me make something on this before. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning. And this is what the Unique in the Creek board looks like. Unique in the Creek, right? It's a triangle board and you can make all sorts of stuff with this. You can make Christmas trees, but I'm going to turn it upside down and I'm going to make a giant carrot out of it, all right? Now, I did do some modifications of this, because you know me, right? Nothing can be perfect. So I am going to, because carrots aren't like a triangle. Well, they kind of are, but they have kind of a bit of a rounded top. So what I did was cut sort of the top of this off, right? Just here. And you have to make sure that if you're doing this to a Unique in the Creek board, good morning, Annie, you stay close to but not cut the holes that are on here. See that? See where I've made the line? I don't know if you can see it, but there you go. And then you're going to preload all of these holes, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. But another thing that I did to modify it slightly was, see how there's like one hole at the bottom here? I put 2 more holes in it because I wanted to have a petal at the bottom. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is what I did, right? So I cut the tops off, kind of, it almost looks like a diamond shape. And then I preloaded all of my holes. I think there's close to 50 of them with tie wraps. And I did get some tie wraps from Unique in the Creek. They're really good tie wraps. They're like 6 inches and they're 18 gauge. That's what it looks like. And if you go to the uniqueinthecreek.com, you can get triangle boards, you can get tie wraps, you can get mesh, you can get all sorts of stuff there. It's like a one-stop shop. Good morning, Nance. Okay? So that's kind of what it looks like to get started, right? So it's a Unique in the Creek triangle board, a little modification done to it. See, there's 2 holes, there's 3 holes at the bottom where there's only supposed to be 1. I made 2 more and just drilled holes through it. And then, you know, cut the top. And then loaded it with tie wraps, right? So there's where we start. So the other things that you're going to need, of course, you're going to need some little rubber bands. Good morning, good morning. And I got these at Dollar Tree. They're like $500 for $1.25. Little clear ones I like. You can get them in all colors. Clear works for me. I'm going to use my handy dandy zip tie thing. Some aviation snips. And some... I call these zip tie. Good morning. So needle nose pliers, I guess, right? And you can get this in a set at Michael's. Use a coupon. And I am going to use a couple of Chanel stems. There's a Chanel stem. And the first thing I'm going to do is load the top of it where I'm going to have the hanger. Because you got to have a hanger on it, right? So just put your tie wraps on and then just take the top. I'm going to leave about, I don't know, 1.5 inch, 2 inch little hole. Feed it through here. Like this. Can you see that? Right, once you have it fed through, you just close it down. And this works if you start at the back and work to the front. Cut 3 times works for me. And then just take something to cut this off. Don't use good scissors to cut tie wraps or your Chanel stems because that'll just dull them. Thank you very much. I did get my hair cut. Yes, I did. And I like it. Okay, so there's my hanger. And this is what the back of your board will look like when it's completely finished, right? So all you're going to see are these little tie wraps. And what's really good about this is this nothing on here will scratch a door. I know. It's perfect, right? So what else are you going to need? I'm going to put a bow on the top, so I'm going to get some ribbon, and I'm going to show you how to make a bow. You're going to need some hot glue, and you're going to need some mesh. Now, it did take a lot of mesh to make this. This is poly deco mesh that I got, and I had to use 2 rolls of it. I'm scrolling down. Hey guys. I have to scroll up for a second. Good morning, Michelle. Thank you. Okay. Scrolling back down. All right. So, poly deco mesh. And I really like this mesh because it holds its shape, right? So, I cut all this already, and I made most of the petals for it because it takes a long time when you have to do 50 of them, right? So, I did do them in 10 by 10 squares. So there's a 10 by 10 square with the curl side up, right? Curl side up. So then what you want to do is, so I'm going to have my finished edges on the right and the left. Turn it so it's in a triangle. Take the top and bring it down to the bottom. So that is a true triangle, right? See that? That's where you want to start. Now I put my 3 fingers here. I come up like this. And then I take the other one and I come up so it looks like this. And then I just scrunched it so it kind of looks like this. Good morning, Jackie. You love the peacock one. I know, it's awesome, right? I love it too. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this excess off because I don't need it, right? And I know this is a waste of mesh. Don't care. Just like that. And then I'm going to take one of my rubber bands. Oh, I got some here. Oops. Here's a one. And I'm just going to rubber band here. Okay? So this is what your petal looks like when you have it made. Can you see that? Give me a thumbs up if you can see what I'm showing you here, so I can see that you get it. I'm going to show you again. Okay? So put it in my bucket. So I take the top, finished side, curl side up, come down, so you have sort of a, I put my 3 fingers, I have small hands, so 3 fingers work. Good. Hey. No? Okay, watch again. Okay, take your 10 by 10 square. Take your finished edge, bring it down, put 3 fingers down. If you only want to put 2, put 2. Take this, come across, right? Take this one, come across, right? And then you just scrunch together so it looks like this. I cut this off because I don't need it. That's what you're left with. And then take your rubber band. Good morning, Fort. Happy Sunday to you too. And just put your rubber band on. Good morning, Julia. Happy Sunday. And that's what you're left with. Okay? Good? One more time? Okay. I'll do a couple more sort of in between for the people that are late to the party. Take your mesh. Hi, Carolyn. Take your mesh, come down. Put 3 fingers down. Put this up. Put this up. And see, I'm going to scrunch. See where there's where you folded it in? It's here. I scrunch right there. So that's what I'm left with. I cut this off. I cut this off as I'm going along. Meaning you can make them all and then, good morning, Mary, and then cut them off, but I find it's hard to get the little elastics around it. And if you didn't want to use elastics, you could just go ahead and affix it to your board, right? So there you go. Right? Better? Good morning, Annette. Good morning, Mary. Oh, thumbs up. Yay. Okay, good. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go forward and we're going to fix these petals to my board. Whoops. Something just went down. I'll have to get it. Oh, it's ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom. Take my petal that I've made, slip it into my tie wrap that I've placed, and I'm going to tighten it up just where I have the tie wrap. So use my needle nose pliers, and I just tighten it up. Now I am going to cut these off as I go along, just so that I don't have a whole bunch of tie wraps hanging out, and just take my handy dandy tie wrap snugger and cut it off. And that what this does, this is like the best invention for me anyway, is I got this on Amazon. When you put this down, it tightens the tie wrap and cuts it off at the same time. Like brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so I got my first one down. I got 2 more to put in here, so I'm going to put 2 in. And I got this big bucket so I can put all my petals in. So I'm going to use that. So just take your petal that you've made and come down, snug it up, snug the next one. So you're gonna, like, this is like the hardest part of making this, hey Jerry, is folding the petals, right? Cutting the petals. Yes, I did use a wood burner. I gotta flip this around. I did use a wood burner to cut them all, and it probably took maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half to cut all the mesh. And then I folded them all, except for a few. So that took a long time. I think it took a movie, so probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours to fold all the petals. You'll notice that, Julia, when you come tomorrow, because I did it upstairs. There's a little bit of stuff on the floor. Sorry. So we're going to go to the 3rd row, and these Unique in the Creek boards are numbered. All the rows are numbered. So if you're making something other than a carrot, I guess, it's good to have those numbers, because, you know, if you're not going to use all the rows, then you know where you're supposed to start and where you're supposed to finish. That's kind of good. Anyways, moving forward. So we're just putting these all down. I hope your son enjoyed his birthday. Yes. Yes, he did. He had a great birthday. I hope. Yep. Thank you. Okay. So there's where we're at, guys, with the, and you don't have to worry about turning your tie wrap bad heads. Okay, so there's where I'm at with my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals on there. And I like this petal. You can use any kind of petal you wanted, but I really like this one because it really, it kind of looks like a carrot, as much as you can have a carrot look like when you're making a wreath. But I thought this would be really nice for Easter. And I have made them before, and they're very popular. So you just snug up the tie wraps, place them everywhere you have a tie wrap. You're just going to put a petal. So mindless. It's mindless, my friends. Yeah. Okay. Going to go forward here and put all these in, and then, like, every time I do a row I cut them off just because it just is easier. Okay, and you can, and what I did when I made the first one is I kind of just laid something on it to flatten everything down. But you don't have to do that. You can make it and hang it up. Easy. So I'm just going to keep going with putting my petals in. So hopefully, by the time Easter rolls around, we'll be able to have family over for Easter dinner. Not that I'll cook, but somebody will cook me Easter dinner. Or I'll have somebody cook Easter dinner. So just snug all these up, and then we're going to cut them off. Hi, Scott. Nice to see you, Scotty. Gonna make an Easter wreath, Scott? Okay. Keep going. This is the easy part, guys, to make this wreath. The hardest part, cutting the mesh and folding the petals. Putting it in takes no time at all, obviously. So, just so you know, is next weekend, I will not be here to do a tutorial. I will be doing the St. Patrick's Day Gnome on the Monday night at 7 o'clock for those of you that purchase kits. Make sure you mark that on your calendar because that's when we're going to be making the St. Patrick's Day Gnome on the Monday. So, no, I won't be here on the Sunday. I'm going to have a Sunday free of me. I'm going to be out of the city. Okay, cut these off. I don't know, I might post a video on my YouTube channel. We'll see if I can get something whipped up this week before I go. I have a pretty busy week though, so we'll see. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have $10 Tuesday. We might. I have to go out for a bit today to get a few things. If I find something. We've gotten better using the cutting tool. I do. I've got it. It's awesome, Mary. Whoops. I flipped tie wraps everywhere. Sorry, Julia, again. I'll pick them all up before you come tomorrow. So there won't be a tie wrap fest everywhere. But Lexi's carried them all over, like she finds them and she carries them all over the house. So there'll be tie wraps in places you can't even imagine, Julia, when you come tomorrow. All right, keep going. We're doing good. So once again, this is the easy part. So if you just came on and are late to the party, have a good trip. Yeah, I hope it'll be a good trip. Yeah, it's been a while since I've visited my friend. A lot of catching up to do, I guess. Polly will pick them up. Polly will pick them up? I wouldn't make Polly pick them up. I'll pick them up before Polly comes downstairs to vacuum in Craft Central, Julia. Okay. I hope, yes, yeah, I'm going somewhere nice. Company's good. I am staying in the province. I'm not leaving the province. I don't know if I've got like a sensitivity to mesh, but whenever I'm doing anything like this, my nose itches. Don't know why. So we're like halfway doing this. Good morning, Jeannie. You're late for the party, Jeannie. So once I get this row in, I'll show you guys how to fold the petal if you're late to the party. Making a carrot wreath for Easter. So I went into Michael's this week to get my Michael's fix. They have all their Easter stuff out, so I was able to pick up some Easter things and pop some nice mesh. Yeah, I missed it when it was closed. And it's not like I need to go because I have a whole basement full of stuff, but I like to go and look at the new stuff that's coming out. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I had a Karen Day Friday. Manicure, pedicure, because everything was closed. Went and saw my stylist, Jamie, who did notice that I had cut my own hair. But she wasn't too upset by it, I don't think. Okay, so there's where we're at so far, guys. Putting all our petals in our carrot. So I'm going to do a couple of petals for all you people that are late coming. So I did using 10 by 10 squares, using 10-inch deco mesh, poly deco mesh. Good morning. Good morning. Just have your finished sides on the right and left. Turn it slightly to a V. Bring this down. Put 3 fingers in. Fold this up, and scrunch it together. Cut this excess off. And then, do I have another? Here we go. Rubber band. And then just place it around the bottom of your petal. So this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to do one more for you. Finish side to the right and left with curl side up. Bring this down. And this is good, like you don't have to use a wood burner to do this because you're not going to see the unfinished edge. You could just use scissors. But I'm a creature of habit, so I used my wood burner. Just clip this off. Excess, and then put your rubber band on like so. There we go. Petal. Just going to put this aside in case I need to make more. And going back to putting them in. So this is, oh, and I should show you. So this is the board that we're using, a Unique in the Creek Triangle board that I just did some slight modifications on. And it's good because they use recycled plastic to make them, and they are recyclable. And it's kind of cool when you're making something out of recycled plastic, is that you know that apparently, this is what I heard, is they used yogurt containers to make these boards, which I think is awesome. Because I think about how many times I throw out a yogurt container. This could have been my board from my yogurt. I don't know. Could have been. So just keep going through and placing your petals down in your preloaded tie wraps. So when we're talking about tie wraps and they're open or closed, open means that I'm not closing them tight. So if you're using like a different petal, thanks, Bonnie Joe, you want the tie wraps to be open, but because I'm just placing them in, I can close them, and it's just easier. right? Good morning, Deborah. Why isn't this pulling? There we go. It's nice to see you guys today. Yes, I'm actually excited about leaving the city. Not that I don't like to spend Sunday mornings with you guys, because I quite enjoy it. I hope you do. We're coming up to our year anniversary of doing this. Crazy that we've been, like, I've been doing this. So for those of you that, you know, are new, good morning, Deborah. I had somebody approach me, because I've done craft shows for years, during the first lockdown of COVID, like that's back in March of 2020, and people were bored out of their coconut, so somebody said, why don't you go on your page and show people how to do stuff? And I said, I don't know if I could do that. Like, okay, I'll give it a go. And here I am, 700 viewers later, subscribers later, still doing it. Crazy. You guys still like, okay, so are you on here to learn how to make this stuff? Or are you on here for the pure enjoyment of watching me and doing my shenanigans on Sunday mornings? Which one, guys? Tell me which one you want. Like, why are you here? Are you here to learn how to make crafts? Or are you here just for the comic relief? Best dishes, thanks, Lise. Just for comic relief. Awesome. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so yes, I'll have to show you the back of my hair. So, somebody just asked me about best of both, yeah. I'm somebody that doesn't like to mess around with my hair. So, my hairdresser, Jamie, is phenomenal. I've been going to her, I don't know, I think we must be, I don't know, Jamie, I think it's probably been, well, it's been over 10 years, I think. And I kind of just go and sit, and she, thanks, Jerry. I just go in and sit, and she just does whatever she wants. People say, you know, I'd love to have short hair like yours. You know, I do it, one, because I don't like to take the time to mess with my hair. I'm kind of like a, if I can't do it in 5 minutes, I'm not doing it. It's too long. Oh, nice. Oh, thanks, Jackie. So, and people go, like, I don't know if I could wear, oh, that came out. That is weird. I don't know why that came out. I'll have to put that back in. I need a tie wrap. Hang on. So, your hair isn't who you are, right? You are who you are. But I don't want to be the same as everybody else, right? And, you know, somebody said you have to have a lot of confidence to wear your hair that short. I don't know if you need to have confidence in it. It's just kind of who I am. Kind of unique, I guess. Love learning new ideas, and your tutorials are so nice and easy to follow, and just love the entertainment. Aw, thanks, honey. Thank you. That means a lot. Because I think you should have some educational component in it. You're a breath of fresh air on a Sunday morning. Aw, thanks, Bonnie Joe. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, you know, having comments like that just reinforces why I'm doing it, right? Because I thought after COVID was over, I would just stop doing it. But I quite enjoy it. Now, in the summertime, I don't know if it'll be Sunday mornings, because I don't know. I might have to change it up. We'll see. That's if things start getting back to normal, whatever normal will be. Come on, moving forward. So it is 9:30. So we're doing good. I like to keep my tutorials around like no more than an hour if I can help it. So if I had to cut all the mesh and fold all the petals, I don't think you guys would want to be around here for 4 hours. I sure wouldn't want to be watching somebody for 4 hours do the same thing over and over and over. At least if you're watching this on replay, you can fast forward it to all this part. Anyway, I'm going to cut these off. So I like to cut these off once again every time I put a row in. And that way I don't have tie wraps sticking up. Oh, really? Okay, I have to scroll that up because that was a long one. I just want you to know, Julia, I totally missed the garbage on that one. Like I said, before you guys come tomorrow, I'll pick them all up. Okay. Like how you get to the project. Yeah. Thanks, Mare. All right. Keep it going. I'm going to dump these out now. So just keep putting your petals in till you get to the top. So what's nice about this mesh is that it's called poly burlap. It's quite thick, holds its shape. Not like deco mesh, like when I'm using deco mesh. Deco mesh is very flimsy. It's sometimes a struggle to work with. This stuff is not. It's awesome. I like it. So once I folded a petal and put it in place, it stays the same shape. And this will be great if you don't have a screen door. It's here in Canada, in this part of Canada, a lot of people have screen doors. So you want to have a wreath that's not going to be too thick, right, this way, because you won't be able to close your screen door. But if you didn't have a screen door, like I don't have a screen door on my front door, I'll be able to put this out, and because it's deco mesh, it's got a lot of plastic in it, it's going to hold it's going to hold up to the elements. Because we're getting, yes, it's still snowing and it's still cold, but we're going to be getting into sort of spring weather, I guess, rain, whatever. Now I have an overhang on my home, so I don't have to worry about it getting that much, but I still like to have a little bit of protection. Good, guys. That's good. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. So we're coming to the second last row. So this is not a hard craft to make, it's just time consuming. And the time, like all the time it takes is to get everything ready to go. This part's the easy part. Folding the petals, cutting the mesh, that's the time consuming part. Yeah. Okay. Keep missing the garbage. All right. Second to last row. I'll get them up. Whoop. Yeah, I've made a few of these now. This one's actually sold, so I think I have 2 that are for sale. If you're interested, let me know. Kind of a nice, it's different, right? I like different sort of wreaths. I agree, Mary. Some videos drag on and don't give step by step. Well, I try, man. I try to make sure you guys understand what's happening. Okay. That didn't sound right, so I might have to take that one out and put it in again. Nope, still secure there, so we're good. We're good. Alright, we're coming to the last row, guys. Fun as that. Okay, just click these off. Okay, so there's 5 tie wraps left on the last row. I'm only going to put 4 on. Okay, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I just place this in. Actually, I don't want to use that one. Use this one. I'm going to put 2 on one side. I know it's cute, right? It is cute, Jerry. Something different. And then I'm going to leave the center tie wrap open with nothing in it. And I'll show you why in a minute. And I really don't want this to come across the top of this board. So that's why I'm being kind of careful when I'm placing my petals in, that I don't want it to stick up over the top of the board. So I'm skipping this one and going to the next one. How many rolls of mesh do you need? I was a bit late coming on. I needed 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh, Mary. And I think I might have had 4 pieces left, because you're going to need about 50 or so. And you can, if you cut it perfectly at 10 by 10, you can get, I think you can get between 34 and 36 petals per roll. You know, no rolls are the same, which can be a bit frustrating, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so here we're at, done the top row, and I did leave 1 open, okay? So this is what it looks like. It's giant, right? How cool, right? I know it's cool. Okay, I think this is one of my favorites. So cute. Thanks, Nance. Okay, so carrots have like fernery at the top of it. So I was able to get these pieces of fernery, I call it, at $1 tree. And I am going to clip this off at the first notch here, like so. And it's, there we go, right? So then I'm going to place this. I'm going to take, because I need more at the top. So I'm just going to take this and stick it in this tie wrap, like that. And it kind of fits right in there. And it comes down, okay? And then I'm going to take my petal and place it inside and zip it closed. Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Dave. All right. Snug it down. Okay, so there's where we're at. Putting that piece of fernery at the top. So then I have another bunch, these bunches, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them off of my stem. And I have my hot glue gun getting ready. Okay, so here's all my pieces of fernery. I don't even know what I'm sure it has a name. For me, it's just, I'm not a botanist or know anything about ferns or green. I just like what I like, right? If it looks like that's what I'm supposed to use, that's what I use. You love this. Perfect. That's a great idea for greenery. Yeah, I like it. So what I want to do is I just want to place this sort of so that it comes down a little bit. And I'm just going to glue it in. Now I'm not really that concerned about the middle of it because I am going to put a bow in there. But I just want it to kind of come down a little bit. To the side. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on here. And I'm just going to place it down and hold. So be careful because this is hot. Hot. So you might need to just hold this for a second. So once you get all your petals in place, you can't see this board, man. It's awesome. I love this board. So then I want to do the same on the other side. So I think I'm just going to move this up slightly and clip this off. Take some hot glue. What kind of glue do I use? I should all know that. I know, crazy. All right. So I'm going to have a piece left over. So I'm going to use these 2 pieces. Just need to hold this for a second. Gorilla Glue. Yes, Dave. Yep. Gorilla Glue. Love it. So I'm just going to use these 2 pieces. And I'm going to scrunch these up so it's fuller at the end. And then clip it off. So it has some coverage here, right? And this just covers up your tie wraps. Just place it down. Now once again, I am going to be putting a bow on it, so you're not going to see these, right? Just hold it nice and tight. I'm sure you will sell a lot of these. Well, that'll be, maybe, I don't know. I guess if you want them, if you want one, just message me and I'll make one for you. I'm happy to do that. Make sure you hold that so that it secures itself. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. Cut it off. And just hot glue it in place. Just like that. Okay. Just hold it for a second. Almost done. Almost done, guys. All right. Time is at 9:48. Yay! Okay. So this is what we're looking at so far. How cute is that? So I'm going to go ahead and make the bow. I have to get up because I threw one of my rolls of ribbon down on the floor. Give me 1 second. Lexi's been into my tie wrap stash, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to use my Bow Dabra. I'll put this away so I don't burn myself. Greenery is amazing for Dollar Tree. I haven't seen it out at ours yet. Oh, yeah, we have some. There's not a lot of it, Mary, but there's a bit. So I'm going to start with green because that's going to go against the green fern stuff about there. So I want to make this a fairly generous size bow, and I really like using more sheer ribbon because it doesn't take away. I know, thanks, Fawn. Otherwise it would just look like a carrot hanging on your door. You should probably put a bow on it or something. So what I'm going to, and this is two-sided, so I really don't need to worrying about twisted it. So I'm going to make it probably, I don't know, 4 inches maybe. Just want to make sure that both of these sides are the same size, right? So that looks like about a good size. Then I'm going to come around, make this side the same size, and I'm going to put 3 of the green bows or loops on the green bow, bottom part. So if you guys have trouble making bows, get yourself a Bow Dabra. Late as always to the party, Bonnie. Hey, Annie. Late again. Okay. Okay, you guys need to... Okay, set your alarm. Well, you're going to have to watch it because, man, we're just doing the bow now. Watch it on replay. Okay. So there's my third one. All right, and you want these all to be about the same size. Okay, so then you just bring this piece down and you cut it off. Now, once I get it put on, I'm going to cut it and ducktail the ends, but I'm not going to do that yet. Okay, So there's my green down. And I got this at Dollarama, I think. It was $1.25. I used all but this much. So usually I like to average about, between $3 and $5 for the bow. Here's purple. We'll put purple on. We're going to do the same thing. Okay? Except I'm going to make my loop a little bit smaller. So I'm going to have it just about maybe a ½ inch smaller than the previous loops. And I'm only going to put 2 on. Okay? 1, 2. Whoop. Well, that wasn't the smartest move. I think I might just have enough. Just. Not very much left. Just cuts this off. Once again, I will ducktail my ends once I get all the bow. I watched this one on YouTube. Oh, thanks, Annie. And then I want to put like a contrasting. So this is kind of pretty. It's got little dots on it. With the Easter theme happening. So this is going to be your smallest. And this is one-sided. So once again, just place it in. And I am going to put one loop here. Just slightly smaller than the purple one. And one loop here. And one loop that's really small for the center because I want it to have a centerpiece, right? And you'll see what I mean in a second. So that's what it's going to look like, and I'm just going to bring this down. And actually I'll turn this and bring it down. And cut this off. Alright, so there's what it looks like in my Bowdabra. Now I'm going to take my chenille stem. Just going to take all of the ribbon out and try to be careful doing this so you don't disrupt it. Bring this up. That's what I mean by disrupting. Place your chenille stem in the middle. And now you want this to be really tight. And I like to turn this up like this. And that way I know that it's centered. And now I'm going to turn the bow and not the chenille stem. So I've got a good grip of the chenille stem. And I'm just turning the bow. What a handy little thing. Yep, called a Bowdabra. Okay, so there's what my bow looks like. It doesn't look like much right at the moment, but it will in a minute. So give me a sec. So, you take your large 3 and you open them up. And what I like to do is just put my fingers in and just open these up like this. So you have one going one way, one going in the opposite direction, and one in the center, right? So I do that on both sides. Okay? And then you take your purple and you just go between the two. Just open it up. And then in your last one, if you just have one, so it just sits in the middle, and this sits in the middle, and this really small one just acts as the center of the bow. There. What do you think? Pretty easy, right? Here's my bow. Pretty? Like it? I'm incredibly talented. Oh, well, you know, we all have talents, okay? Some better than others. I just have a vivid imagination, I guess. Now, I've got my tie wrap, or my chenille stem. I'm just going to put it where I've put that green, remember when I put that greenery in and then put the petal in? It's going in there. One on either side, and there's not a lot of room left in this hole, but you just hold it, lift up your board, and just snake it in there. So I've got one inside in, and here's the other side. Don't worry about your bow at the moment. And then you just snug it up at the back. Right? So a couple of turns, 2, 3. Clip off your excess. Now what you want to do, because remember we don't want anything to scratch the door. So here's the back. I'm just going to take this and then feed it back through the hole. Like that. So nothing is going to scratch that door. Because the last thing I want to be is responsible for scratching a door. And these got metal in it, so you got to make sure that there's my hanger. Okay, so now I'm going to ducktail my ends. Might have to stand up to do this. So I'm going to fluff out my bow a little bit. Just fluff it out. Fluffing. Now, ducktailing. Pretty easy. You just take your petal or your ribbon, decide how long you want it to be, and at the folded part, you just cut down. So that's what ducktailing is. So you want them to be about the same. That looks good. And then we're going to do the purple. And I like to have like really light, airy ribbon on something because I don't want the ribbon to take away from the carrot. So I like to come down about a 1/2 inch or an inch from the one I've already made. And then I'm going to put the green, cut the green. Now if you want, you could take a little bit of hot glue and kind of glue these down. You don't need to though. Cut down. And cut this one. There we go. Ducktailing the ends just gives it a finished look. And this, my friends, get rid of all this crap, is my Easter Carrot Wreath. There you go. What do you think? Guys like it? Yay! Okay, and this is the back. Like, you can't see anything that I've done. People will look at it and go, I don't know how she did that, but you can't see anything. Right? Yay! Beautiful, love, love, love. Perfect, guys. That's awesome. Okay, so that's it for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. I do tutorials every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock unless I'm out of the city, which will be next Sunday. Out of the city. But on Monday, I'm going to be making the St. Patrick's Day gnome. So for those of you who have a kit, be sure you're here at 7 o'clock on Monday evening. We're going to go through it. It's going to be a fairly slow tutorial. Might take about an hour and a half to do that. But you have to make sure, hi Bren. Make sure that you have everything ready to go, right? So take your kit that I've given you, and then have everything, and there was instructions, everybody knows what to do. Make sure you have everything done, okay? And then we're going to start promptly at 7 o'clock. Have a great week. Thank you very much. Yes, I will have a good weekend. Yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Have a great week, and stay safe. Keep our numbers down here in London. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Monday when we make a gnome, like a St. Patrick's Day gnome. Lexi and I say, love you all. Have a great one, guys. Bye now.